through the workbook so you can learn how to be an intuitive eater and lose weight happily without feeling sad, without denying yourself all the time, and keep it off, and keep it off, and keep it off, because that's the part that no one ever talks about. My name is Meg Moranis, and we go through our workbook in order to help you make that transition from diet brain to intuitive eater, which is actually a really large task, so don't underestimate it. But I got you. I'm here. I've been through this myself. I've helped people all over the world, literally in 6 continents, do this. I can help you too. The key is understanding that this is not a quick fix. So the workbook, you don't have to have it. We're going to go through it, but it's the first 12 weeks of your healthy thin mentality, which is my version of intuitive eating. And I always say this in case some intuitive eaters on. Intuitive eating is not about weight loss. Yes, it is, because if you eat less because you're eating intuitively and your body does not ask for more food, but you're giving it to it anyway, that's not intuitive eating. Intuitive eating is respecting that non-hunger as much as you respect the hunger. And when you respect non-hunger, you eat less and you lose weight. It is that simple, friends. And I know that you may not believe that because there's a lot of money to be made making you think that it's more complicated than that. And even with our food sources these days, you can 100% do this. So we are now in the workbook, we are on page 39, which is week 3. And every beginning of every week, which we don't make it through a whole week in one of these, we just keep going through it, but is kind of a little statement, one of the ones that I think is really powerful. And here is something you need to consider. Eat like a thin person and you will become one, right? Eat like a thin person and that is what you will become. Eat like a dieter and that is what you will become. Is that what you want to be, a dieter? Because even, there are a few people who can diet their way thin for the rest of their lives, but they're always dieting. And that's not good enough for you. It is not good enough for you. It wasn't good enough for me. It's not good enough for you. So the way you get out of that is by actively transforming yourself to a healthy thin mentality. Because a dieter left to their own devices will just remain a dieter because I know how you think. I know how I thought. We're so scared that if we stop dieting, we will just get bigger, or we will if we stop dieting, we will get bigger and we will be out of control. But what happens, and I should say this more because this is a really important point, your behavior is never normal when you're a dieter. You're either on a diet or you're in between diets. You're never off your diet and thinking you will never diet again. And the mentality of thinking and knowing in your soul that you will never diet again, that is where your power is. Because once you take dieting away as an option, your behavior changes. Because I know you've done this. You've been out and you've I really don't really need that cake, but I'm just going to diet on Monday. I kind of was thinking about that anyway, so I'm just going to have it. I'm going to enjoy myself. It's Saturday night, and I'm just going to eat it anyway. And that act of overeating in that moment is what makes you need the diet in the first place. If you just stayed in your body and going, okay, am I even hungry? Do I really want this? Or am I just making a little deal with myself? I'm making a deal with the future. Yeah, that's what you're doing. And that is such a sabotage of your own body and happiness around food and eating. So these are all little things that you will come upon as you engage in this new paradigm of eating in response to your body, not bullying your body into not eating or into eating, like that Saturday night cake. Yeah, that's a bullying move towards your body. Your body's fine, sitting there, had a nice dinner, maybe whatever, nice piece of meat or whatever, and vegetables and some bread and butter. You feel good. You had a glass of wine maybe or whatever, and then you push your body into eating more just because you're making a deal. And you're thinking, well, if I don't eat this now and I start this diet Monday, who knows when I'm going to get a piece of cake? Yeah, don't go there. You stay in the present. Staying in the present is a huge part about being a healthy thin mentality intuitive eater. So do your daily checklist. There's 3 things there. I don't want to go over that every time I see you guys because I think you'll get bored. But so just go over the daily checklist. A couple of things I recommend you do every day as you start this journey, which really isn't even a journey. It's just you for the rest of your life. So that's kind of a journey. But I don't want you to think you're going to learn how to be an intuitive eater in 12 weeks and then you're going to have different behavior. No, this is you creating this behavior for the rest of your life. And one of the things that, in order for you to respect this and to know how incredibly important this is. Sorry, I was looking at something. you need to understand how you got where you are. And how you got where you are is by totally disconnecting yourself from you. And the way you did that was to follow diets and follow rules that did not match what your body was asking for. So go over these. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on these pages 40 and 41. I'm going to tell you what they are. So if you don't have a workbook, don't worry. First one, when I was hungry and my diet told me not to eat, how did I feel? Okay. When I wanted some fruit when I was dieting, but fruit was not allowed, this is how I felt. When I was hungry before bed, but I'd already eaten all of my calories for the day, I felt. When my diet told me to eat 5 small meals a day, but I don't like eating that way, I felt. When I wanted to eat something specific for lunch, but my diet said that should not be something I should eat that day at all, it wasn't on the schedule, I felt. And when I read these, it makes me so sad because I lived this way for decades, for 2.5 decades, from the ages of about 15 to 40. This is how I lived my life around food and eating. Please don't do that. You don't need to do that. It's just such a farce to think that this is how we're supposed to be thinking about food and eating. Food and eating are a huge pleasure, and you can get it back. That doesn't mean you have to just be overweight or just give up having a body that you are comfortable in. That doesn't mean that. It means you have to understand how you got where you got. So here you are going, okay, yeah, when I was on those diets, that is how I felt. And so what did you do when you got off the diet? You know what you did. You binged because you'd been doing this to yourself for days, weeks, months, however long you ever lasted. And there's repercussions of that denial, that, I don't feel like I couldn't have this, or, that your body doesn't like that. And there will be times when you crave something that you think is bad, chocolate or whatever, and so you're like, well, I think that's bad for me. Stop. Let your body guide you. Chocolate is a great example because chocolate has some stuff in it that we actually really need. But it can be any food. Sometimes you just crave something that you think is junk. I don't know why. It happens to me too. I don't know why. But if you just answer the craving in an amount that satisfies the hunger, which is usually not very much, really, I hate to tell you this, but you need less food to satisfy hunger than you think. But don't let that make you sad, because when you can eat whenever you're hungry, you're fine. It's not eating when you are hungry that is very, very unhappy and very sad and makes you feel depressed and makes you feel bingy feelings later. Whenever you're hungry, you can eat. Just keep that in your head. Hunger and eating go together. Non-hunger and non-eating go together. And when you establish that rhythm, and I know, I feel you, I know you're going, oh, I can't do that. Yes, you can. If I can do it, so can you. I promise. When I first began this, I was like, thinking I couldn't do it either. And I talk about this a lot, but I had someone in my life who I copied, my little grandmother. And so I'd seen it in action. I'd seen how she ate and how normal and healthy and happy she was around food and eating. And she was at her happy weight her whole life, right? And I'd seen the rest of my family not like that. So I had faith because I saw that in real life. So I'm trying to be that person for you. And I'm telling you, I know you think you can't do some of these things and that your body's broken and that you will always just want to eat. I completely thought that about myself. I will always want to eat chocolate chip cookies. If they're there and they're warm right out of the oven, I'm going to eat one. That is not true. I do not feel that way anymore. You get your power back. I might want one if I happen to be hungry for something sweet at that moment, but chances of that coinciding actually are pretty low. But maybe the next morning when I wake up and I'm having coffee and I really want something sweet with it, and there the cookies are, and then you eat it. And then it's beautiful because you're answering a craving and because it's matching your body and what your body wants. I talk about this a lot too, so sorry if you guys are bored hearing this, but I can eat sweets in the morning. I feel great. If I eat sweets at 4 p.m, I feel lousy. I don't know why. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to take care of my body by answering the signals that it's sending me. You get to your happy, healthy weight by answering the signals that your body is sending you. We were not meant to carry around a whole bunch of extra weight. I'm sorry if that seems crazy or judgmental. I don't mean it to be judgmental. I just know that you're out there like I was, wondering how this could possibly be true. And I'm telling you, when you look at biology and you look at normal eating behavior that used to be everywhere. I mean, my grandmother was the way she was because her generation pretty much was all like that. They ate when they were hungry, and they did not have the access to food that we have now. But I'm telling you, and I thought that was going to be a problem in the beginning. It's not. if you eat when you're hungry, food loses its power, because I'm not hungry. There's a delicious piece of pizza, but I'm not hungry. It becomes weird to eat without hunger. My grandmother was like that. So we have more access to food, but the principle still exists. It's like, I use this example a lot because it's so tactile, it's so easy to express, but if this doesn't itch, I don't itch it, I don't scratch it. But if it does itch, I scratch it. And that's very happy and enjoyable. But it feels weird to scratch it when I'm not itching. It's just like that. It's the same feeling. You will get to a point where someone will put food in front of you. You will not be hungry and you will not eat it. And it is not willpower. It's just, well, it looks great. Thank you for making that, But no, I'll wait till I'm hungry to eat it. I talk about, like, if someone makes you something, be nice, but have a little bite, whatever, but don't sacrifice your body, for that, for someone else. When the food is there, if someone made something for you, take a little bite, you can work around that. There's little ways to push it around, but you will get to that point where it almost feels, well, what was I doing last night? Oh, my husband made French fries in our air fryer thing. And, I just really didn't want them. And I love French fries, but I just didn't want them. So I ate one, but even then I was eating, I was like, isn't that great? Can you imagine when you're actually putting something in your mouth that you love, some food that you just love, and you're just like, I wish I wasn't doing this. That's how I felt. I hid it because you don't want to be a jerk. Someone made something they're kind of proud of. You take a bite and you get on with your life, but you will get there. You will get there. And that is when you've gained your power back. That's when you're an intuitive eater, for sure. I mean, you'll see little glimmers of light as you go along when you do something that is different than what you normally did. Like you order a salad and they say, do you want dressing? And you go, no, just lemon wedges. No, you go, okay, no, I want some blue cheese dressing. And you put the blue cheese dressing on it and you eat the salad and it's the best thing you've ever had. Or blue cheese or whatever. If you hate blue cheese, ranch dressing, whatever. Olive oil, a bunch of olive oil, balsamic vinegar, whatever you like, and you eat the salad and you realize, wow, this is just so good, and it's satisfying. So it ends up is you eat less later because you satisfied yourself with exactly what you wanted at that time, and that pays dividends for you. And then later on, when your meal, let's say that was the first course, and then your meal comes and you have whatever it is you're having, you eat less because you had that. So your body knows what you ate. It's like the app kind of knows what you ate, but your body really knows what you ate. In your app, you have to go, I ate, 5 florets of broccoli. Really? Is that what how you want to live your life? No. This built-in app tells you all you need to know. So go through this page 40 and 41 to notice how broken, sadly, we all are. We're broken because the diet culture breaks us. You can get it back. One happy eating experience at a time. Every day, several times a day, you get a chance to practice this new way of thinking and being. And it's new to us because it was trained out of us, but it's not new at all. It's old. It's the way we're supposed to be eating in response to hunger and non-hunger, in response to our body's cravings, because our bodies are strong and smart. And just get real quiet. Don't bully your body. Get quiet. What am I asking for? Use all your senses. Eyes, nose, ears, everything. Here's something on the grill. Oh, that sounds good. Everything. Your body's meant to unite in work for you, in perception for you, so that you can be directed to what you need. And if that sounds weird, think how weird it is that we think that's weird. Of course, that's how it works. That's why we were evolved the way we did. Okay? So, guys, please subscribe. Help me grow this little channel. And if you want the workbook, go to our website. It's listed below. If you can't afford it and you want to do the online course, email me, meg@dietsarefattening.com. I will help you. Okay? I'm here for you guys because I know what it's like to be where you are, and I know what it's like to be where I am now. And come join me. You will be very glad. I promise. I'll see you soon.